What matters now? This is exclusively for people with a life that allows them the luxury of calm reflection, analysis, and speculation. Further, the language of this writing is appropriate only for a certain quality of reader. This is a brief confrontation with the question of what matters now. The question is designed to include the issue of now, so that the question of what matters now is explicitly designed to produce a wide range of answers across time. It is a simple question that is uniquely practical. By the way, it might even be fun. Before we explore the depths of our primary question, here is a quick foundation. First, we recognize that life involves a range of patterns from one extreme of unconscious instinctive reflexes, which we could call a vegetative state or deep sleep, all the way toward a distinct extreme of attentive, adaptive responses. Somewhere in the middle of the two extremes, we could use labels like the dream state. It's not deep sleep and it's not heightened alertness either. The dream state would be one of the labels that we could use somewhere in the middle of the two extremes. Or another label we could use would be the condition of being tired or drowsy or exhausted, because that's not alert and that's not a vegetative coma of deep sleep. Oh, here's another, as well as the stage of relative naivety or confusion or a lack of alertness or maturity, a lack of maturity or a lack of sophistication. It could be even a lack of fluency in a particular language. Again, these words are not for everyone. Not yet. Some are not ready yet. Maybe even many are not ready yet. However, many organisms automatically develop sensory perceptions of various kinds, like hearing and sight. But only a very small fraction of Earthlings also develop a complex communication method called language. The unique capacity for using complex language has been labeled as a huge advantage for humanity's adaptiveness relative to other species of Earthlings. Specifically, language allows for a very accelerated programming of other human organisms. Yeah, specifically, language allows for a very accelerated programming of other human organisms. For instance, this sequence of words, like all other sequences of words, has the sole purpose of altering your attention, influencing your perception, and programming distinct patterns of future behavior. Some methods of social programming openly reference the fact that they are methods of social or interpersonal programming. Other methods do not reference their purposes. Some patterns of communication may even distract from their purpose or obscure their purpose, or in the extreme, deny that they have any purpose whatsoever. What matters now? What matters now? Consider a simple idea. The actual functional meaning, the real meaning or purpose of any instance of communication is the resulting behavior that the communication actually produces. Maybe the produced result will be surprising or perhaps very familiar. Maybe it will be called intentional or unintentional. Oops. People may also argue about which alleged influences caused which effect. What is the purpose of such arguing? Speculating with calm curiosity about potential influences does not require arguing. Speculating with calm curiosity about potential influences does not require arguing. Arguing is rather the opposite of calm speculation and inquiry. So why would anyone ever argue? What does arguing always produce? Consider that arguing may or may not distract people. What? From what is otherwise obvious. However, arguing that is sincere, passionate, and even terrified clearly is not a method for producing relaxation, curiosity, insights, creativity, and breakthroughs. Now we're talking. So consider that there is no other meaning to language except for the result produced. For instance, arguing may produce a distraction from what is otherwise obvious. Consider that language is nothing more than a tool for social influence, potentially influencing the attention, perception, and or behavior of other humans. Next, what matters now? Your life matters to you, right? But consider that your life as you know it will eventually end. Not only will the current circumstances of your life end, but your human life itself will eventually conclude. A medical specialist may be there to reach over and touch your body to check to see if the heart is still beating or not, and then they may pronounce the official death of another human organism. Eventually something like that could happen, right? So, what matters now? If you were in a life-threatening situation, you might not be exploring this subject with me today. You might not be exploring ever at all. I don't even know. Do you exploring much? Do you? I don't. I personally, I recommend against it, frankly. Okay? So if you needed emergency medical attention right now and you have a way to obtain it, then you're probably not reading this right now, are you? Okay. However, if you were to ever experience an emergency, then remaining calm can be one of the most effective responses. If you need to physically flee or fight, then it could be very adaptive to have an extreme stress response with a racing heart rate and breathing patterns that allow for intense physical activity. Wow. Otherwise, this could be a good time to calm the bleep down. In fact, go ahead. Do that now. Whatever your current level of intensity and seriousness and self-righteousness, consider this simple intervention of slightly slowing down the pace of your breathing. Maybe you can notice some muscles that could be relaxing right now. Laugh. Oh, man, cry. Sigh. Yawn. Do whatever you would have already been doing if you're not currently as bleeping uptight as you used to be. If you've ever believed that there could be some really powerful authority figure, such as God or some wise prophet, then imagine that they were instructing you right now to relax just a little less than you might think be too much, okay? Then you relax just a little less. Relax just a little less. No less than that. Relax just a little less than you think might be too much, okay? Next, after you find out exactly how good that feels, now imagine that your favorite authority commands you to Keep relaxing until you feel so good that it is amazing to you. It's amazing. I am so relaxed now. Can you do that now? Yes. So go ahead. Relax that much. Thank you. Now, what matters now? I already mentioned that eventually your bodily existence may come to an end. Your body's ability to be mindful and attentively adapt can end. Not just briefly like during sleep, but permanently. In fact, your body's ability to manifest unconscious, instinctual reflexes, like what happens during sleep, may eventually also just end. However, for now, you may be aware of the ability to produce unconscious reflexes, such as your ability, right this moment, to unconsciously decode sequences of words in any language that is familiar to you. You could do it without even thinking about it. In fact, you are doing it right now, aren't you? Are you or aren't you? Are you? Okay. So, you have these unconscious abilities. You don't have to think about. What was that word he just said? What was the sequence? I don't even remember. You don't need to remember. You don't need to analyze it. You don't need to think about it. You are so good at comprehending this language that I'm using right now. Wow, you are so good at it. Oh my God, you are so good at it. Wow. That's like amazing. That is amazing. You are so good at like understanding language. Wow. 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 You're so good at it. Oh my God, you're so good at it. That's great. Not like that's special. I mean, other people. I be honest with you, I can do the same thing. But no, really, it's great though. It's really useful. It's really great. So, really, really great. So, for now, you may be aware of the ability to produce unconscious reflexes, such as your ability right now, this moment, to unconsciously decode sequences of words in any language that is familiar to you. You can do it without even thinking about it. You may also be aware of the ability to produce intentional, playful explorations for the sole purpose of learning, which we could also call adapting. That might even be fun. Oh my gosh. What matters now could be how well you learn. That means how able you are to learn. And that also means how that ability to learn is actually developing over time. How well could you learn? How quickly might you be willing to learn? How adaptive could you be? How much fun would you be willing to experience now? Even if there was a huge cost in terms of dramatically increasing how much fun you have in your life, how willing would you be to change how relaxed you are? What if there was a fascinating added benefit of completely losing the ability to waste time in unproductive arguments? Doesn't matter now whether or not you know how to continue to accelerate the rate at which you are learning. Doesn't even really matter exactly how fast you can learn to have unreasonable amounts of fun, even when other people seem to be investing huge amounts of energy into avoiding the possibility of having an enormous amount of fun. Now, what matters? Accepting that you eventually will no longer experience life as a physical organism, could it matter to you how well your household and extended family operate? Perhaps your own descendants, like children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren, will matter to us more in the future. What if as much as they ever could matter to us is how much they matter to us right now and always, from here on out, how much they ever could matter is how much those people matter. One person, lots of people, lots and lots and lots of people. Would our attention shift if we were focusing on the long-term well-being of our own descendants, as well as our close biological kin? How close? I don't know. How close? How you tell me. How close? Whatever. You pick. Whatever works for you. Would our attention shift if we were focusing on the long-term well-being of our own descendants, as well as our close biological kin? If we released any distractions, obsessions, resentments, complaints, or habitual tensions that might have previously sacrificed our contributions to the well-being of our kin. How much fun could that be? If we if we had almost too much fun, how much exactly could this be? If we had almost too much clarity, how clear exactly would we be? If we learned almost too fast, how fast could be ideal? If we adapt almost too effectively, how effectively could be ideal? If we calm the bleep down, how calm would we be if we're completely relaxed? Oh, yeah. If we relax almost too much, maybe we could later quickly refocus and have a tremendous increase in our ability to concentrate, even for almost too long a period of time. What matters now that you know that it's okay, that you're eventually going to cease to have bodily experiences, such as during deep sleep? You won't even know if you're having bodily experiences or not, because you'll be like in a deep sleep. I don't know. There will be a deep sleep happening with the organism, and that's it. What matters now that you know that you may have sacrificed opportunities to promote the well-being of your biological kin in order to practice the behavior of arguing. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Maybe agonizing a little bit too much. How much agonizing should I do? I'll take a weekend or a semester or a decade to consider that subject. How much arguing should I do? How much agonizing should I do? What matters now that you know that there are opportunities that may be new to you, that are already learning about. Wait. Oh, gosh, this is great. What matters now that you know that there are opportunities that may be new to you that you are already learning about almost too quickly? What matters now includes the way that you use language mindfully. What matters now includes the way that your network of biological kin use language mindfully, effectively, intentionally, attentively. What matters now includes the results that you're actually producing. If you frequently and effortlessly, if you frequently and effortlessly produce the experience of fun, or of accelerated learning, or of the recognizing of new opportunities, how attractive could that be? What matters now could be that certain patterns or outcomes are distinctly repulsive to you, disgusting even. Whew. Yeah. Disturbing, disgusting, repulsive, stuff like that. What matters now could be that certain patterns or outcomes are distinctively repulsive to you. Once you experience a sense of clarity in regard to your interests and priorities and inspirations, then repulsion may be very attractive. Repulsion, when well organized and concentrated so as to push you away from a particular solid foundation, is also known as propulsion. So if there's a particular solid foundation, and then there's a well organized and concentrated surge of energy to push you away from that particular solid foundation, we can call that repulsion, or we can call that propulsion. The energy of repulsion is the same energy as propulsion. The only difference really is when there's a solid foundation. What matters now could be how solid your foundation is. What matters now could, and like, potentially, like assessing how solid it is, and increasing how solid it is. Yeah, how useful it is. Oh. What matters now could include how clear your destination is, or your direction, your focus. What matters now could be how quickly you can maintain your focus as you increase the energy of repulsion that propels you away from your solid foundation toward the new experience that most powerfully attracts you. Wow, that sounds, yeah, I don't know if I can just come out and say how good that sounds, but that sounds good. Whenever you sleep in the future, you'll continue to reorganize your neurological pathways to promote the developing of what matters now. Your attention and your perception and your behavior will be what matters now. Your highly effective use of language will be what matters now. Your unusually calm and clear and fun life will be what manifests for you while you are awake. The well-being of any descendants and your extended network of biological kin will be what matters now. If you do not know anyone that is your close biological kin, their well-being will still be dramatically promoted by the immense power of your intent and your unconscious instincts and intuitions. I wasn't even aware of that because it's unconscious. I see I wasn't aware of it because it's unconscious. It's your future is. This is important right here. Okay, so everybody pay attention. Your future is eternal fulfillment. Your presence now is unquestionable. Are you here? Are you not? What? You tell me. It's unquestionable. I mean, you can question it, but it's unquestionable. Your presence now is unquestionable. Doesn't need to be justified. Doesn't need to be verified or confirmed. It's unquestionable. Your presence now is unquestionable. Your present is freedom. Your present is freedom. Oh my gosh. Receive this gift now with wide open gratitude. Oh, share the gift now with the unreasonable generosity of one whose future is eternal fulfillment. Share the gift now with the unreasonable generosity of one whose future is eternal fulfillment. Oh man, the power of life itself is your power. You are what matters now.